Greetings. I wanted to make another installment in the discussion on the difference between script and language, because there's a lot of people out there who believe that the script automatically determines the language, while of course there are instances where you can correctly guess the language that's present based on the script. It's not always the case. Last night, I sent this tweet to a member of the ISUPK who had been treating the Phoenician script as indicative of Hebrew and the Ashuri script as indicative of Yiddish. So I quickly wrote out this text and took a picture and sent it to him to ask him his thoughts, but he didn't seem particularly interested in discussing it. So I figured I'd just make a short video to describe the text, to elucidate what appears on the page. So I have 6 lines of text here in different languages and in different scripts, and I'd be curious if I told you that some Hebrew appears here, some Yiddish appears here, some Arabic appears here, and some Aramaic appears here, what people would think which is which. So I'm going to go over what actually appears here in each of the 6 lines, and I'm also going to discuss the features that give away what language is present. But just to be clear, what I'm addressing is this assumption that people have that if you see something in the Phoenician script or the so-called Paleo-Hebrew script, then it must be Hebrew, it must be ancient Hebrew. And if you see something in the standard Hebrew script, the block script, the square script, the Ashuri script, as I call it, then it must be Yiddish. There's people who assume that, especially if it has like the Masoretic Nikodot, the dots and dashes, those sort of Masoretic diacritics. Or that if you see the Arabic script, it must be Arabic. And also, as I said, I have some Aramaic here. Now, I know some people are familiar with the Hebrew cursive, but for those who aren't, if they had to guess, they might guess, well, if there's Aramaic on the page, maybe that's the Aramaic. So I'm going to discuss what actually appears on this page. And the features that give away what language it is. So, by the way, every line, despite being in different languages, says essentially the same thing. The text is all the heads of state and governors, roughly along those lines. It's actually a line taken out of a portion of Esther, the 9th chapter of Esther, 3rd verse. But anyway, going to the first line, even though it's written in the Phoenician script, this is actually Yiddish. It says Ale Harin Fundi Madinot Undi Satrapen, right? So even if you didn't know Yiddish, what gives away that it's Yiddish? Once you see a construction like this, like fundi, right, from that's a dead giveaway that it's Yiddish. Anytime you see fun, the pe, wa, nun, that, and then followed by a Germanic definite article. Also, the Yiddish conjunction un is also a dead giveaway that it's Yiddish. And also, if you see a plural that's strictly just a nun, satrapen, that's a giveaway that it's Yiddish. Now I'm saying a nun by itself, not like an Arabic yod ya nun or an Aramaic yod nun, but just the nun by itself. So that's what would give away that this is probably Yiddish. Fundi, undi, satrap, and the nun for the plural, etc. Going to the second line in the standard Hebrew cursive, which has medieval origins, but it's become a part of modernity. And Israelis typically write in this script, in this Israeli cursive, Hebrew cursive. This is actually Hebrew, and what it says is Kal Sareh Hamdinot Weha Ahashdar Pnim, right? By the way, this word weha hashdarpnim is one of the longest words in the Tanakh. There's 3 different words in the Hebrew Bible that are tied for longest word in the Tanakh at 11 letters long, whatever the case. That's actually why I wanted to use it, because it looks, you almost want to guess that it's a foreign word because it's so long. But anyway, that's the second line. Oh, and what gives away that this is Hebrew would be, for example, the definite article, the he as definite article, which you have here and here. That's a giveaway that this is Hebrew. And also the yod mem as a plural suffix is also a giveaway that this is Hebrew. The third line is the exact same text as the second line, just written in the standard Hebrew script, the block script or square script, whatever you want to call it. As I said earlier, I call it the Ashuri script. But it's the same thing, just with the Ashuri script and the Masoretic Nikodot, the diacritics, the dots and dashes used to clarify vocalization. But it's the same thing, Kal Sareh Hamdinot Weha Ahashdar Pnim, right? Same thing, right? Hebrew text. So the second and third line say the same thing in two different closely related scripts. The fourth line, if someone guessed that this is Arabic, they actually would have guessed correctly. It is just an Arabic phrase. So it's Kulu Ruwasa'i al-Buldan wal-Muraziba, right? So, and what gives away that this is Arabic, aside from the script, is for example, the Arabic definite article, the alif lam, is usually a giveaway. Because I could have written some Hebrew or some Aramaic or even some Yiddish in the Arabic script, but this is usually a giveaway that it's probably Arabic. It has the Arabic definite article, and you see it appear again over here, the alif lam. So that's the third line. I'm sorry, that's the fourth line. Then going to the fifth line, we have again something in the Phoenician script, and this is Arabic again. It's essentially the exact same text as appears in the fourth line. However, there is a little bit of awkwardness here. While there is a one-to-one correspondence between most characters in Arabic and Hebrew, there isn't really a Hebrew character. There isn't really a Hebrew character for the Arabic Hamza. So I didn't even put it in. I was thinking of putting like a little Hamza here, but I think that might have thrown it off. And also a little bit awkward, at the end, you have the ta marbuta, which in Arabic functions as like the hey and also like the tau, because when a Hebrew word that ends with the hey is in the possessive, you can you replace it with a tau. Right, and so I could have put a tau here, and some might actually say I should, because instead of just muraziba, it's actually murazibati in this case. But whatever the case, so someone could argue there should be a tau instead of a hey, and somebody would say, well, where's the hamza? But otherwise, there's a one-to-one correspondence. You have the kaf lam, you have kaf lamed, you have the ra, the resh, the wa, the sin, the alif, the alif, and so on down the line. And again, what would give away that this is Arabic? Well, again, the definite article, the alif lam in the definite article for al-Buldan, and then again, the definite article in al-Muraziba. So that would be a clue that this is probably Arabic. And then finally, in the sixth and final line, this is in the Phoenician script, but this is the Aramaic. I actually took this right out of the Peshitta translation of Esther 9. So what gives away that this is Aramaic? For example, the construction kulhun, rather than just kulu, kul or kal in Arabic or Hebrew, you have kulhun, where you get this plural suffix, this plural pronomial suffix. That's that happens a lot in Syrian Aramaic. So kulhun, all of them, literally. The other thing that gives it away that this is Aramaic is the definite article is the terminal aleph, right? So you have warabi hayale, which is like this is for governors, literally lords, noble lords, or something like that. But you have the aleph at the end and the aleph here, and also the prefix dalet is a giveaway that something is Aramaic. That's a distinct feature of Aramaic, where you have a prefix dalet working as a preposition. So, for example, in Hebrew, you have like the phrase Melech HaYehudim, right? The king of the Jews. In Aramaic, it would be Malka de Yehudaya, right? The dalet works sort of like the word of. And it's interesting, real quick note about this. It's fascinating. So Hebrew doesn't have this sort of prefix dalet, right? But yet Aramaic does, right? So the prefix dalet sort of works like the word of in English. Interestingly, Latin doesn't really have a construction like that, yet many Romance languages do. Like Spanish will have, de, like Rey de los Judíos or something like that. And French has du, or I'm not very familiar with French, but it also has like the word, a preposition or sort of like that means of. It's also with a D. Italian has it also as, and it's funny how that's similar to Aramaic, the Aramaic prefix dalet. And I have to wonder if somehow some Phoenician influence played a role in that. I have no idea where the Romance languages got their use of de, di, du, or whatever it is, depending on the language. They didn't get it from Latin. But anyway, so this is, de medinata, and there's the definite article, the aleph, the terminal aleph at the end. So, and that's what would give away, that would clue you in at least that this is likely Aramaic. So again, we have Yiddish, but written in the Phoenician script, You have Hebrew written in the medieval and modern Hebrew cursive, and then you have, again, Hebrew, the exact same text written in the standard block script, the Ashuri script, the square script, whatever you want to call it. Arabic written in the Arabic script, and then the exact same Arabic, essentially the same Arabic script, the same Arabic phrase written in the Phoenician script, and then finally an Aramaic phrase, specifically Syrian Aramaic, a Syriac phrase written in the Phoenician script. So the point of this exercise is that the script does not determine the language. You can write all sorts of different languages in a single script, and that's true of the Phoenician script. It's true of the Hebrew script. Many languages have been written in what's now called the standard Hebrew script, the Ashuri script, like Ladino and Yiddish and Judeo-Arabic and so on. Many languages have been written in this script, and of course, whatever the case, I hope people found this mildly interesting. This is my second installment on the subject of the differences between script and language. I look forward to the comments of others, and as always, God bless.